who pulled up for a catch-up. It's really here from 947 Afternoons. And if you're here, it means you've got taste. Go ahead, enjoy the moment you missed. But don't ghost me. Weekdays, 12 to 3 p.m. on 947. I'm loud and way more fun in real time. And yeah, there's more audio magic waiting for you right here on Prime Media Plus.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob.
If it's shaking sport, we are already on it.
It always gives me pleasure to speak to someone who's got such an insight.
Marawa Sports Worldwide. Hashtag MSW.
All right, it's probably the conversation that we've been waiting for long and hard, man. And that's why tonight on the world of women's football, we talk about a bold new chapter that has begun. I mean, from packed festival weekends to a revolutionary two-stream format that's designed to elevate visibility. That's what I'm told. I mean, to also grow the commercial power and to take the women's game to every corner of South Africa. So I'm talking about the 2026 Hollywood Bets Super League, which is ready to kick off with a bang. Defending champions, Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, returning, to headline the Super Era stream. So if you don't know what that is, you will be educated just now. While the giants like JVWFC leading the charge in the Super Rise. So I'm looking at new rivalries here, new venues, new opportunities, and also with festivals right across all 9 provinces. The women's game is stepping into the spotlight like never before. And with the excitement also comes a lot of debate. I mean, why the delayed start? And will the split stream system kind of strengthen the league or divide the competition? And how will SAFA balance domestic football with the demands of Banyana as well as WAFCON commitments? So all of these questions running through my mind, and joining us right now on Marawa Sports Worldwide are 2 key voices at the center of this major transformation. Hollywood Group spokesperson, Vuyisile Ngobese, as well as SAFA head of women's football, Lubisi, all here in studios. We unpack the vision, the criticism, the opportunities, the future of women's football right here in South Africa. Ladies, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Robert.
Thank
you so much.
You.
Are you guys fired up? You're excited? What's the human sense that's coming through? Let's take it from an association perspective first. Don?
Excitement, obviously, like you said in your intro.
Yeah.
This is the elevation of women's football.
Elevation. Take us through that vision of elevation from what to what?
Women's football, I think specifically with Hollywood Bets as well, and in general, the whole aim is to professionalize the game. We are wanting to professionalize it from our Hollywood Bets Super League to your provincial structures, regional structures, and LFA structures. So basically, that's what we are gunning for. With the Hollywood Bets Super League being our cherry on top right now, we are wanting to start there, obviously lead by example as well, make sure that we basically build a solid foundation for all of our other structures to follow, show them how to do it, and then it's a matter of them following suit and saying it's actually possible. So that's basically that. Start at the top, and then we'll just filter it down.
I mean, that's the common question everybody asks. Has got to do about the professionalization and saying, surely the time has come. When is it going to happen? What's the current and latest conversation around how close we are to realizing that dream?
Okay, how close are we? I think that personally, this is like from a personal point of view, I think that we are very close. Our clubs through the years, seeing that when the Hollywood Bets started, we have been capacitating them. They know the channels to follow. They know what to do. When we are having our preseason workshops, it's always a matter of saying what you still need to work on, what can we provide for you, what can we give you, what assistance do you need? And this new format actually also just basically speaks to that as well. You are having 14 matches instead of 30 matches. It means that resources can now be allocated to something else, such as your sports science. You can focus now also on player recovery. You can focus on just your technical staff as well, empowering them and enriching them and all of that. So this is basically just that opportunity to say, clubs, let's also, we are wanting to professionalize. Let's get ourselves to make sure that we are also on that standard so that when it does actually happen, we're able to maintain it. So I think with the 2 streams now, that's the direction that we are heading, trying to also just give a bit of what you call stability
Sure.
to the teams as well as the league at large. So yeah.
But we'll come back. We'll talk about the two streams because that's garnered a lot of conversation. From a Hollywood Bets perspective, Vuyisile, I see smiles all round. Is that a correct indicator of where Hollywood Bets as a company and as a sponsor, people said in the beginning that they came through and were almost the lifesavers to breathe life into women's football. And with the latest launch, what's your feeling?
It's a bold move we've taken together with SAFA, but it was necessary for the sustainability of the sport, especially for women. We're known as Hollywood Bets for making bold moves. We made one in 2021 when we sponsored the Super League. So we do believe that this was necessary, and we look forward to seeing how this will pan out as we work on the Super Era and Super Rise. There was great reception at yesterday's launch that we had, and the clubs are excited. Yes, it's something new, but obviously with everything new, it will take some time for everyone to actually adjust to.
But I look at it from a commercial perspective, which is exactly where Hollywood Bets comes in. What makes the festival format, when you look at the festival format, more attractive to broadcasters, sponsors, and ultimately the most important people who are the fans?
Robert, Hollywood Bets is a business or organization that is community focused, and the new festival style will basically call upon communities to rally behind the ladies in sport. That is exciting for us as a proudly South African organization, but also it means that small businesses in the localized areas will also get an opportunity, and this will actually be a boost in the regions that will be hosting these matches.
I mentioned earlier, Dawn, regarding the all 9 provinces participation. So a curious ear is listening right now and saying, how is that going to work? Because maybe there was a stage where a certain province didn't get any women's football coverage at all. Tell me about that spread.
Okay, so we will be taking the festivals to the 9 provinces. As you might know, your Northwest, for instance, they don't have a team currently in the Hollywood Bet Super League, as well as your Free State. They also don't have, unfortunately, a team in the Hollywood Super Bets. So we are trying to doing these festivals on our side. I think the main goal would be to say that really behind your girls, you do have your teams that are playing at your provincial leagues, at your regional leagues. Sometimes competition is not as great as it should be because of lack of resources, lack of knowledge, and so forth. So we are saying that with those teams that are currently there, those who are playing at your provincial leagues, regional leagues, and I'll also go back and say LFA because that's where we touch football. That's where we work. LFA, region, provincial, as well as national. National is basically the product of everything else that we are doing down there. So with the Hollywood Bets League, Super League going to the various provinces, we are trying to engage women's football. Majority of the time, what we've seen is that it's a community project or community program in a sense. When you look at the fans that actually do come through and support women's football, it's not necessarily your it's your family-based type of setting. You'll have your aunt coming to see your niece and all of that. So it becomes like a whole family event. It's like a community. When you speak of your Refugee Janis, when you speak of your Ramalepas, it's always a matter of, she's from my community. I actually want to go there and watch her do, oh my word.
Do her thing.
Thank you. Sometimes I get so excited.
As you should. And I was getting a sense as well from some of the coaches, and you got to gauge, when something new comes up, the coaches also have their word. And one of the things that I picked up, their feeling regarding, the separate streams, saying that they may not be equally challenged. So as SAFA, how will you ensure that there is fairness, that there is a bit of balance though?
I think first and foremost, look at how we did the draw. It wasn't a matter of saying you have your top 8 in one group and having your bottom 8 in another group. It was clearly fair. We're trying to make sure that the competition is basically balanced. We have Mamelodi Sundowns in the Super Era. You have JVW in the Super Rise. That's number 1 and number 2. When we cascaded it down, it was basically a matter of having your number 3, 4 where do they feature in? We are trying to make sure that there is a balance of competitiveness, because at the end of the day, this current, Hollywood Bet Super League is a feeder to our national teams. It's a feeder to Banyana. It doesn't necessarily help us to say that one group is stronger than the other. We are making sure that everybody's capacitated. Everybody is literally bringing in their A game. Everybody's competing at their peak fitness, because we have the WAFCON coming up. We have a very packed international calendar as well. We are having our girls going to Japan now in June, and then we also have another window in October. So for us to just say, let's say, for instance, if we had decided to say coastal will play coastal, inland will play inland, there really isn't much competition there. If you look at the setup of that, if we had taken that direction, for instance, majority of our teams are university based, and majority of them are in Johannesburg. So it's a matter of how do you keep things balanced, making sure that at the end of the day, our national teams are actually benefiting from it. So that's basically how we did the draw. We thought of that, and we're like, this is how the draw should actually be conducted.
All right, we come back from the break here. We continue the conversation. We'll also take any of your calls, your WhatsApp voice notes on 060-708-0484. Otherwise, you can call us directly in studio, 011-888-947. It's the long-awaited conversation about the women's game.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Hayi Marawa singakhohlwa washo udlane impela ukuthi kancane ukuwa akuvele nje ukuthi boom kodwa kancane kunjani makunje ukhadi osahamba ngabo dada hamba.
Wednesday nights, soccer nights, your nights.
Right, don't forget, around about 7:15, we're going to be chatting to Bernard Parker, finding out, is he going to be a long-term solution for Tears Galaxy? We saw what they did last night to the defending champions. How far will that go? But tonight, the conversation centers around the women's game, the Hollywood Bet Super League. As you know now, it's a new format. An exciting format. What are your thoughts about that? Vuyisile Ngobese, the Hollywood Group spokesperson, is here in studio. So is Dawn Lubisi, SAFA head of women's football. And I see a couple of your WhatsApp voice notes. But before we get to the voice note, I wanted to ask Vuyisile, just regarding television and television coverage, because that's what sponsors always look out for. In your opinion, and given where you are, with that visibility that we've seen in the past years, does that help this game move us closer to what Dawn was talking about earlier, to become, full-time professionals? And how much TV coverage are you going to be getting this coming season?
It does, Robert, in a sense that obviously the community will be informed of the upcoming games, but also it ensures that even communities at large get to see what is happening. So there's transparency in all areas, but yeah, we do believe that we'll be getting as much coverage as required for this game to be amplified, because remember now, the new Hollywood Bet Super League is an amplified version. That is where the thinking was when we roped in media partners.
People always talk about increased prize money. I'm sure you hear that all the time. Mm-hmm. Where do we stand in terms of that?
What we could mention is the fact that obviously there'll be a championship match, and that for us is our platform to actually highlight and showcase our intentions in terms of the prize money. It is a substantial amount, and we do believe that the teams will be excited when they hear of the amount that has been set aside.
Oh, okay. This is breaking news for SAFA as well. Are we at liberty to hear what that prize money is?
It will be communicated in time.
This is the right time.
It will definitely be communicated in time, because obviously we are still working on the financials, but we do believe that you all know that the the clubs, in particular the ones that are part of this game, the Super League, have had financial strains over the years. Hence the new stream that has been put in place. So we are really backing them financially as Hollywood Bets, and the intention is to ensure that there's sustainability. So the amount that has been set aside for the Super League is really one that is substantial for the growth of the sport, but also for them to be able to manage their operations. So we'll definitely communicate in time. It is quite a substantial amount and a surprise.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm looking forward to that announcement. Don, the late start. I mean, obviously, as fans, we were very concerned about the momentum, both from a fan perspective, but especially with the players and what happened with WAFCON, the uncertainty, and with the places of Desiree Ellis in terms of the selection for the national team as well. How do you expand or explain to a fan who just wants to know what that delay was caused by?
Robert, you just explained it. You just said everything. Well, obviously, as we all know that the WAFCON was actually supposed to start in March. That's changed from March now to July. It had, like I said, HSL, we call it HSL, Hollywood Bet Super League. It is a feeder to our national teams as well, right? So we taking that into consideration, and also just taking into consideration the fact that we have a very busy international calendar, and just taking that into account, it was a matter of innovate or compromise. We decided, let's just innovate. And obviously we are looking at the calendar and where we currently are, we wouldn't have been able to play 30 matches. Teams wouldn't have been able to play 30 matches. So with this new format, whereby we have teams playing 14 matches each, and obviously leading up to the playoffs as well, we are ensuring that what you call players do not get burnt out. It's a matter of making sure that they are able to perform at their peak fitness for their clubs as well as for national call-ups. So mainly reason for delay, I would say, would be the congested calendar that we currently have for women's football, as well as like the change WAFCON from March to July. We had to literally innovate.
But with those breaks for international football as well, I mean, will that kind of negatively affect the momentum, though, in the league?
We don't necessarily think so. The way we've structured it for now, I think this will be out in a couple of days. The way we've structured it is that we know when we have our breaks. We have obviously we have put into, obviously taken into consideration, rather, to say that you have your FIFA international windows, you have your qualifiers as well. So all of those have been taken into consideration. We'll have the first half of the league play just before August, and then we'll have the rest of it play after August. So literally we've taken all of that into consideration. And like I said, we are trying to say to the teams that with every game, just make sure that it packs double the weight. Every point or every game now matters. Literally, it's like, when I play today, I have to think of it tactically. I have to be better off. It's not a matter of just playing 30 games. I will see maybe during when we are like 15 games in, it's a matter of like, oh, okay, I'm number 8 somewhere there. I can still progress and so forth. Now with every match that you're going to play, it's a matter of making sure that you bring your best foot forward. So just elevating the game, elevating the standard of it, and just elevating everything around women's football. I mean, like this was an opportunity for us to be able to do that. So we've taken it like that, to say, as much as we have so many hurdles, let's just try and innovate.
All right, innovate. We also have plenty of questions that are coming through. It is an interactive show, remember, so yeah, let's fire away with the voice notes.
Hi Rob, this is Andrew from Rediport. Rob, I believe Kaizer Chiefs have started a ladies team that will start in a second tier league, which we used to be called at SASOL. And I would like to know from SAFA, what does this mean? Because we know that Kaizer Chiefs, when it comes to marketing and sponsorship, they are a magnet, and I believe that they already have a sponsor, which is a logistics company, and also there's a demand that they will, a lot of fans are across the country, they would like to see Kaizer Chiefs playing on TV. What does this mean for SAFA? Are they seeing any opportunities to take the women's football to the next level with Kaizer Chiefs coming on board? Andrew from Rediport.
Andrew, thank you so much indeed. Don, do you have the answers, Don? Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, with Kaizer Chiefs having a ladies team right now, That is huge. I must say it is very big for women's football in general. We have your big teams. If, let's say, for instance, I was actually just discussing this in the waiting room to say that Kaizer Chiefs having come through, we have the marketing guru, Madam Jessica, who's there. We will always learn a thing or two from there. Who knows? We might actually ask her for a masterclass. Let's see how they do. Our provincial league, the Gauteng Women's Provincial League, is kicking off I think this weekend, if I'm not lying. And Kaizer Chiefs, together with Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, they will be playing their first match at Tsakane Stadium. So that will be a thriller. It honestly will be a thriller. Kaizer Chiefs entering into the space, it just basically says to the rest of our teams, come on board. Come on board, we are waiting for you, you know?
Because that's the ideal. I mean, I always say on the show that a lot of teams internationally in Europe, whatever is the top 16 in the PSL, in the Bedway Premiership, for example, should be replicated in terms of the women's game. So every team should have a women's structure. I don't know, Vuyisile, if you'd agree with that, and what would that look like? I mean, obviously, there'd always be a clash. People talk about there's always a clash. 1 minute it's Betway, there it's Hollywood this and what. Those things really don't matter because even when it comes to banking, there's F&B Stadium, but you play Nedbank Cup games there. You know, but people need sponsorship. And that's what people are dying for. In your plans moving forward, would that be a dream, you know, for the Hollywood Bet Super League to have a structure where whoever is represented in the professional men's game is equally represented in the women's game?
It's definitely something that would be exciting for the brand because we believe that women's football as well needs to have their own brand presence. So it would be encouraging to see other football clubs that have mainstream male soccer leagues and clubs to actually open up that avenue for women to develop and establish themselves as professionals in the sector or in the industry. So yeah, it will be exciting for the brand. We are known for the development and grassroots development as well as Hollywood Bets or Hollywood Group at large. So these are all the initiatives we are willing to back at all points.
What does success look like though for Hollywood Bets, for example? At the end of the new format season, what would you say come the end of the season? What would that level of success look like for you?
Level of success for us would mean that the clubs are established, they are commercialized, they are able to participate. Even the ones that are in the super era and super rise are able to manage their operations without the financial hurdles that they faced throughout the years, because that's what we're here for, to ensure that there's stability in all fronts. So if we get to that point, then we do believe that we'll be successful as Hollywood Bets and SAFA at large.
Good evening, Brian Rob, and good evening to your guests in studio. I know we're talking about the Hollywood Bets Super League, but my question is directed to Dawn Lubisi regarding the state of women's football in general. We've got the Cecil League kicking off on Sunday with a cracker of a game, Kaizer Chiefs ladies hosting Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, and there are no live streaming opportunities for people to watch that game, which I find disappointing because it would have been a perfect way, you know, such a high profile game would have been perfect in trying to attract new fans to women's football. There was a lot of excitement when Kaizer Chiefs launched its ladies team recently, and you know, we could have capitalized on that by offering live streaming opportunities. I also haven't seen much advertising regarding the Cecil League. It's all being geared towards the new innovations in the first league. So just a comment from Dawn regarding that. You know, why aren't we promoting all our leagues, all our women's leagues with the same amount of vigor, especially now that more and more, you know, PSL teams, traditionally male teams are getting women's football, getting involved in women's football. Yeah, that's my question. Kaya Koko from Kakeong. Thank you very much.
Kaya, thank you so much indeed. Great question. Dawn, able to handle that?
Yeah, sure thing. I think that obviously the Provincial Women's League, like I said, the Gauteng Provincial Women's League, formerly known as the SASO League, is kicking off now. definitely it would have been nice to just basically try and live stream all of that. But also at the same time, like I said, top bottom approach currently what we're having with the Hollywood Bet Super League, all of our matches, we are making sure that all of the fans will actually be able to watch them. All of our matches will either be live streamed or they will be broadcast on SABC. So literally fans can then be able to follow the matches and basically just, support the teams that they want to support. And we believe that obviously with this now, these two groups, it also makes it easier it's more broadcast friendly first and foremost. The fans are able to follow, and we are hoping that by the end of it, we will have such engagements where we have fans actually saying, I'm going to go watch a match. We are hoping that by the end of it, we are able to say that we'll have your, those matches where you have your rivalries. Right now, you can have your DK ladies, or you can have a university derby or something like that. So we're hoping that by the end of it, we'll be able to do that. Women's football in general, there's always room for improvement. I believe that we can always improve, even when we believe that we're not there yet. Even when we believe that the product is a premium product, there's always room for improvement. And in just saying that as well, we are wanting that by the end of this, at the end of the day, women's football is literally a premium product that is also bankable, so that corporate South Africa can get behind us, and the teams that are participating in these leagues are able to say, we have a sponsor, we have a partnership, and so forth. It's not a matter of saying that corporate doesn't want to touch us because they think that we're not bankable. We want to make sure that by the end of it, we are proving that women's football is definitely is bankable. Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Vuyisile here, and good evening to Mr. British Shoulders. And good evening to your guests in studio. My question is very, very simply directed to, the head of SAFA women's football. We've seen clubs and them struggling to pay their players, and this just simply boiling down to the fact that, the game is not so professional, and they would have to wait from something from SAFA, from the league. What are they planning to do to combat, late payments of salaries to players? And if so, what kind of action are they willing to take just to sort of put an end to all of that? Because for the fact that, it's taken such a long time, I just think that with the introduction of the Hollywood Bet Super League many, many moons ago, that would have been a professionalized league. And based on what Banyana have done in the 2023 FIFA World Cup, so many people that aren't South African are shocked at the fact that the biggest league is not a professional league. So when will the league be a professionalized league? And for, the struggles of teams and players not getting their funds to pay the players and stuff like that, what is being done to combat that? That's what I want to find out. Great show as always. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Vuyisile. Maybe, I know that we touched on the professionalization of the game. Maybe quickly, we are out of time, maybe deal with the issue of the late payments and what is being done to change that.
Planning, Robert, planning. Like I said, we looked at everything and we decided to be innovative. So what that means, it means that we had to plan. We looked at the calendar, we looked at everything, we looked at the constraints that we had previously, and it's always a matter of planning. We have a plan, it's just a matter of now implementing it. Communication from all of our stakeholders, I think now that's something that we had to improve on. That's something that is there, and we are definitely working on it. But this season, believe you me, I don't see us having such challenges. Obviously, there will be things that are outside of our control, but when it comes to the league specifically, I think that we will be on track this season. We are wanting to professionalize, and that speaks from everything from administration to capacitating our teams so that they're able to actually self-sustain themselves and all of that. So we are looking at all of those elements.
All right, so let's project Vuyisile 5 years from now. What would the Hollywood Bet Super League look like?
The Hollywood Bet Super League would be a league that is exciting for players to participate and compete in, a league that supporters are excited to watch, and one that sponsors are willing to invest in. And obviously, we look at seeing more growth from an operations perspective. And yeah, that's where we are as Hollywood Bet, and it will still be around.
So when the game does become professionalized, it will put the pressure on Dawn. She knows this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Would Hollywood Bet still be a part of that journey?
Of course. of course, we're committed to women's football and the empowerment of women's football. So we'll still be around.
Ladies, please promise me that you'll come back. As you can see, I got so many voice notes that I can't play simply because of time. The women's game deserves all the airtime that it should be getting. And I think you guys have sort of cut the ribbon, so to speak, in terms of that conversation moving forward. I do thank you for your time and congratulations on the launch. And looking forward to a brand new season with the brand new format. So well done to both sides.
Thank you, Robert. We are amplified this season.
I love that word, amplified. Vuyisile Ngobese, Hollywood Group spokesperson, together with Lubisi, SAFA head of women's football. Thank you so much for your interaction, guys. Thank you for all the voice notes that we could and couldn't play. We'll be back, though. Don't go anywhere.